Yeah, it's surely up to you. A beautiful song, but none other than Samuel Shines. If you didn't know, if you heard that song now, that was Shines. What a beautiful song. Shines, I see it. The song was basically dedicated to road safety, I believe. Yeah. It's a beautiful song. It's a beautiful song. How long ago did you make the song? It was last year. End of last year. Beautiful song. Beautiful song. Good morning. Morning.
Morro.
It's a Aulawal. But these are different. Long glass, it's a. Good morning, everyone. Hola, Mutatio Karstens, Moro. Thank you so much, everybody, for joining us this morning. Ja, Deitzer, Moro. Berta, yes. Angala, Mwalalapo, Atu. Yeah, Nawa. Manne, hoe het julle geslaap?
Baie goed.
Ach, dat was baie.
Yes, it was great. The weather was just fantastic.
Och, dat het baie nagereed.
Nee?
Ja, dat het nagereed. I was thinking of farming.
Oh, you were just thinking about
farming. When it was raining, I was just thinking of farming.
Yeah, so is it the only thing you guys can think about when it's raining?
Yeah, farming.
Aha.
I don't think everybody thinks of farming when it rains like this, especially the poor citizens of Achterland.
Oh, yeah.
We'll be talking about that a little bit later.
Yeah,
yes,
we will
definitely be talking about that because so far I think what is happening in the community of Achterland is it's not an easy thing that is happening there at the moment. So I was laughing. I think it was the night before when we...
Never look your duck nog.
Ja,
he didn't fix it yet.
Hij lukt nog, ja.
Vader van Keetmans.
Mijn dak lekt nog. Hij lukt niet.
Hij lek.
Ja, hij
maar
lekt.
hij lukt. Hij lek.
Hij lekt.
It's just a legging.
Ja. Somebody posted that Achterland video on our community group the other night. Obviously to provoke me. And a very staunch SWAPO member on the group said, we don't care what you are posting here. We will still vote for SWAPO. Ik heb gelachen. Ik zei, wow. But yeah, we sincerely hope that the people of Achterland, there's going to be a little bit of relief for the people down there because it looks it looks terrible down there. The fact that people have lost some of their belongings because of the rain, and some of us are sleeping so nice in our homes while others are
thinking of farming,
exactly what you say.
But Neville, it's really a bad predicament there. Like some people want the rain because they really want to farm and whatever, but in the other hand, some other people will go through a lot. It's not a win-win situation all the time. Yeah. So mense bid vir die reën, maar as die reën kom, kan hy met ander goed ook.
Yeah, that's so. And that is the difference of all our lives. I guess. What works for one does not work for the other.
Yeah.
Deitzer,
Dis hy.
sê vir ons wat het jy vandag? Gee gou.
Monte News. Firm but fair.
This is Informante Live, and these are our top stories. Inspector Eleni Shipumba of the Ironga Police has stated that a recent letter written by Azan Madisia, in which she confessed to accidentally killing Shannon Wasserfall, is inadmissible to the police. Madisia, alongside her younger brother Stephen Mulundo, is accused of murdering Shannon and burying her body in a shallow grave in the Dunes area in Walvis Bay. In the letter, Madisia outlined the circumstances behind the death of Shannon and described that she killed her in self-defense during an intense argument after a drinking spree. To us, this letter is a non-issue and inadmissible. There is a legal way in which confessions are handled by the police. We have our own evidence and we have analyzed how this letter correlates to it. I would say that this is just a simple tactic by the accused to divert and jeopardize the investigation, Shipumba said. The two siblings to date have both pleaded not guilty to the crime. A 30-year-old woman and her boyfriend were taken into custody after she allegedly stabbed her ex-boyfriend to death. According to the Weekend Crime Bulletin, the incident happened on Friday at about 1800 hours 30 minutes at the Omatati bar in Okahanja Park. It is alleged that the woman, who is the ex-girlfriend of the deceased, of which the age is unknown, stabbed him to death after an argument erupted over jealousy about her current boyfriend. The current boyfriend reportedly gave the woman a okapi knife to stab their ex-boyfriend. And finally, 2 suitcases, 28 pairs of shoes, 22 ladies' tops, 90 ladies' dresses, and 20 men's shirts were among items stolen when unknown suspects broke into a clothes shop at Ongwediva during the early morning hours of Saturday. The total value of the stolen items is estimated to be 114,500 Namibia dollars. According to the police, the crime was committed between 4 o'clock and 6 o'clock in the morning. The burglars used unknown objects to break the front door of the Happy Fashion Boutique in the Palmer Pharmacy complex. The police are requesting members of the public who find people selling those items to contact the nearest police station. Your Trustco share price today, the 18th of January, is at $1.50 per share. Taking a brief look at the financial indicators, the Namibia dollar is trading against the US dollar at 15 Namibia dollars and 30 cents, against the euro at 17 Namibia dollars and 50 cents, and against the British pound at 21 Namibia dollars. This is Informante Live, and these were our top stories. You can find more on our website, which is informante.web.na.
Informante News. Informante News. Informante News. Informante News. Firm but fair.
So in this news bulletin, I find that over and above all the crime that's happening, we've got some very well-dressed people in Ongwediva. All you have to do is walk around Ongwediva today and you see all these people with these new clothes.
Wow. Okay, but Neville, what will happen if you bought that thing and you are wearing it, and these people come there like, yo, that's from my shop? How can they really just be like, yo, that's the exact thing that was stolen?
If you buy a stolen item, the police will prosecute
But
you.
I don't think they'll be able to prove
whether
it's
you know it
that
or
thing.
not. But if they know it, they'll come after you.
It's definitely for sure. And where was this? Ongwediva.
Ongwediva.
Shoo.
At the Happy Fashion Boutique. They're changing their name now to the Unhappy Fashion Boutique.
They're very unhappy.
Wow.
But who steals clothing? Like, that's really like.
Excuse
why
me.
would you do
what,
that?
What?
Steal laptops and stuff. Why would you want to steal clothing?
No. I think you come from a very privileged thief
Yes.
perspective.
Yes.
There are people out there. I remember those years. I think when I was obviously younger and I would walk. Mall walking was my thing to do. I think when I was in my 20s. And if you go into Edgar's and Ackermans and and then you would see how the security at these malls are very vigilantly looking and waiting, because you would always have these gangs.
Yes.
Guys, whether it's women or men, that would come into a mall just to come and steal clothes. And clothes, it's a lucrative business. If you can steal enough clothes to go and resell it.
Probably in the rural areas.
Yeah. In Katutura, in Achterland or whatever, you can go and sell it. You make a quick buck.
Yeah, but if you break into the shop, now you have to check the sizes you're stealing also.
No, it doesn't matter.
You just grab and go.
You just grab and go.
Whatever is opportunist.
Coffee, I remember they had this thing there whereby they used to have the gang, like Neville said there, and they will. It's a whole stream. It's a whole structured business. Somebody at the restaurant will take your bank card, swipe your information, they will get a clone card. And with that card, they can't go withdraw whatsoever. So they buy clothing in Edgar's and stuff like that. So they used to do that type of.
Yes.
It was a whole structured business, card cloning. And that's why I don't give till today. I don't give my debit card or.
I also
I
ask
don't-
for the machine to come to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I used to be in that business at some stage of my life. When I was at Standard Bank, I was running MasterCard.
In card cloning. Oh.
No. The legitimate way. And you won't believe, you know that card, you know that machine, do you know that machine doesn't belong to the business owner?
It belongs to the bank.
It belongs to the bank.
Okay.
So if you ask for that machine, you can ask that waiter, let's say it's a restaurant, to give you the machine and you handle it all.
Oh, is that
You don't
so?
have to give your card to the waiter.
I handle myself. I go there and do
And I
it.
know 90% of people just give the card to the waiters
Yeah.
or to the receptionists or whatever the case.
Yeah.
You can just say, sir, I know how to operate it. Give it to me.
Give it to me.
And then you do
Their
it.
whole target was actually tourists.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
Oh, yeah.
Tourists would always be and
Yeah.
ons het klere gedaan hebben.
Yeah. Card cloning, and I remember a few years ago, I was also a victim of card cloning. And that was now pre-notification on your cell phone. I remember at Bank Windhoek, that specific card of mine, actually I didn't even have to enter a PIN.
Right.
You basically just swipe it.
And it just runs.
And it just runs.
Okay.
And I remember this one time I checked on my bank statement and I was like wondering, if you have so much money in your bank account and you don't actually care how much money you have.
Yeah.
And that was many, many years ago. And I was like, hey, there's some deductions here coming from my bank account that I am not aware of.
Right.
Stearns.
Wow.
Stearns where? Stearns Tsumeb.
Oh.
Stearns in Tsumeb. There's a transaction happening at Stearns in Tsumeb simultaneously as Mr. Price Sports in Swakopmund. It happens at the same time.
My word.
So I lost well over $120,000. The transactions every day.
You kidding me?
day.
And that's the
Every
time that
day.
you didn't get a notification.
It's about 15 years ago.
Yeah.
Oh my God, man.
You don't get any notifications of money.
And
that
did
comes
you
in.
negotiate this with the bank?
Oh yes, they paid me everything back.
Okay.
Because you can clearly see. Oh yeah, and they were on Dangwa Airport. I don't know what the hell this person is buying at on Dangwa Airport. On Dangwa Airport, Tsumeb,
Those new clothing. that
Stearns.
No, he was buying a cool drink for the lady with the feet on the thing. With the feet on the desk.
Yeah.
Okay.
Shoplifting can be an illness as well. I knew a very well-off pretty lady, maar die girl had perfumes geloop en steel.
Hey.
Dis wat Rou Vieira says.
But she must have been easily caught because all you had to do is just go around and smell where she is.
But never, how do you explain it? Stearns and Swakop or what? And now, Mefro, you probably didn't notice. Mefro probably gets one day this stuff, and she's like, okay, never, and no.
Watter Mavutu is
Wat er Mavutu het jy how do you,
Willem Hamukwaya, môre jong ou manne.
Mora Willem.
Johannes Nangula Lydia, why in Afrikaans language we cannot hear anything English, please? What are you asking?
What's your Hannes all about? This
Okay,
morning?
let me ask this question slowly. Like Johannes, why in Afrikaans language we cannot hear anything English, please? Because African language are not supposed to sound like English. African language are languages of their own.
I think he's made a spelling mistake. He's asking for Afrikaans language.
Why
Probably
in
our
Afrikaans
comments in
language we
Afrikaans.
cannot hear anything English, please?
It's Afrikaans is for robot.
And Johannes, for the same reason, Afrikaans is a Germanic language. Okay.
It's
It's
not.
there
It's
are
Flemish.
It's Flemish, yeah. It's
Yes.
Vlaams.
German is Germanic.
Yeah, it's Germanic. No, you're right. You're right. But there are certain dialects within
you
the
can click.
Afrikaans language
Yes.
that
I think you completely missed the point. You guys at the beginning were quite or engaged more in Afrikaans, and then
Oh, probably about that. Did we really?
no,
why Afrikaans? Like,
I don't
you can't
agree.
hear anything.
I don't agree.
I don't think we did it.
I'm going to throw German into the show.
Just a little.
Yeah. How did we speak Afrikaans in the beginning of the show? Like constantly?
Moro, hoe gaan dit? Hallo, something like
Wow,
that.
yeah, but
Okay.
please come and explain yourself, Joanna, so that we can
Yeah.
have a little bit clarity on it. Moausi Bole says, for those shoplifters, help us with a lot of items that would have been very expensive. More coffee.
Moro muhau.
Whatever, Natalie.
No, Natalie's comment
Whatever.
is also very important. Just read that out.
Whatever.
Natalie and muhau.
Koffie, ek wil net vir jou net
Moro
sê.
moro.
Ek wil net vir jou sê. Ja, en kyk, let me just take the gloves off here. You are not welcome at the men's conference this year.
Yeah, asseblief.
Yeah.
Shines, maak me go admin, man. Please make me admin. I want to try out one button there, please. I just want to see how it works.
I'm telling you, Valentine's Day is not very far
Yes.
from. It's about in a month's time, eh? It's in a month's time.
Yeah.
So so we're gonna be having our men's conference on the weekend of the 13th, 14th, 15th.
Yep.
Yeah. Let's just gather our names, whoever will be there. Yeah.
And we have a speaker at the men's conference. We have a guest speaker there.
And it will not be coffee.
Ai.
Yeah.
Maybe the Tung.
The
The Tunga as our guest speaker. And it's my birthday actually, Valentine's Day. And
Hey.
I
How
don't get
old?
stuff.
You're such a
man.
lover boy, you.
I don't get stuff. It's a problem.
Estomich is saying morning Mitch. At least the two of you are getting
Estomich.
exclusive mornings. Masali Fatka.
For Estomich. Aye.
Say
En 'n
vat.
blink of the eye.
Jy sal vat. Och, opeet.
Ek sal op eet.
Mes en vurk.
Bro. Los hande.
Los
Los hande. Never. Los hande.
Rovera says ek sê mos blok hulle en fire vir koffie. Ek ken ook nuus lees.
Nobody wants your position for a long
I
time.
know, but Ro just wants to read nice news. He avoids bad news.
Natalie says ai tog Ro môre ook aan jou. Moausi Bolle says keer die namakeetmans. Hy wil my remove soos hy geremove is. Waar is hy geremove?
That's why I asked Shrines for that special admin function.
Is it?
Because he wanted to remove Natalie and Muhao.
Yeah, Vosia Alana Greenwood says, "More guys, it looks like it's coffee day today."
Yes!
Ja, Vosia is hierdie nonsens, nee. Is hierdie nonsens waarvan ons praat. Ja. Ditser.
Yes.
Gee vir ons 'n bietjie coronavirus
Okay,
numbers.
coronavirus cases. Okay, so to date, COVID-19 has caused the death of 3,823 people. So we are now over the 3,800 mark. Of the 329 cases currently hospitalized countrywide, 92.4% are unvaccinated, as well as 97% of the ICU cases. So we shine in the unvaccination department.
I believe we're in terms of our vaccination numbers in Namibia, we talk about roughly 22%
Yeah.
vaccinated nation, which
Yes.
is well below the rest of the world.
Yes,
Yeah, very-
and that going hand in hand with donated vaccines that are expiring.
There you go. There you go.
No?
It's
So
it's quite a situation.
we're begging the world to please help us, and then we don't help ourselves.
Kom ek vra vir julle so. Let's say this was 2002. Okay. Let's imagine you still, how old are you now?
30.
You're 30.
Yeah.
Let's say this is 2002. You're 30 years old. This is 2002. You're 52.
Right.
This is 2002. I'm 50.
Mm-hmm.
And the coronavirus pandemic broke out. This was pre-social media,
Yes.
pre-WhatsApp, pre-Facebook, pre-Instagram, etc., etc. Would you have taken the vaccine without a, at the drop of a hat?
Yeah. I think everybody would have.
Everybody would.
I think everybody would have.
It would have been even given out in schools.
Remember,
Like the other vaccinations that we used to get. They would bring it to your workplace, to school. It would have been done like...
and here it comes. We did have vaccinations 20 years ago, 30 years ago.
And everybody took them.
Yeah.
So are you saying that the reason we're having these debates these days
Yes.
is because of what social media caused?
Yeah, and just
I
an
think so.
overflow of information coming from the right side to the left side. Like people will be talking about movies, talking about the coronavirus that were released some years back, and people just have too much information to say, and it's not even credible sometimes, but it's there.
It's there.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean here we have it now. Okay, so we have a month-old baby, which is now among the new cases, and then 2 deaths and 163 new infections from 1,242 results were reported in the last 24-hour cycle, which represents a 13% positivity ratio. So would it be fair in saying that if we get everybody tested on one particular date, that between 13 and 15% of our entire nation is going to be testing COVID positive?
Yeah.
So of the total confirmed cases, 82.8% are not vaccinated. The number of active cases is
82.8%.
8% are not vaccinated of the total confirmed cases. So, yeah, the number of active cases is 9,828, and we had the 2 deaths.
Willem Mamukwaya says social media kan gevaarlik wees, ja.
Yes, I agree with Willem on that one.
Yeah. Because as I say to you guys constantly, you know what, when it comes to the to this virus, I block out any information on my phone that I see. Any video that anybody sends me about for or against the vaccine, I block it out. I don't want to debate it. I don't want to have anything to do with it.
And what is really cool is once you've had the vaccine, you've got peace of mind. You don't have to worry about it anymore.
Yeah.
But if we even check the stats, it just shows that the vaccine is actually working. It's doing something. The vaccine is doing something, and most of the deaths are unvaccinated.
Sure.
Most of the
that's what it is.
critical conditions and people hospitalized is unvaccinated.
Unvaccinated.
The stats are there.
Yeah.
And I think even if the vaccination is not killing the virus or what, it at least protects you
From dying.
from
Yeah.
the virus. And I think I would rather take that chance than
and
ending up in hospital.
and I say once again, you know what? I started out last year. This time it's January when the first batch of vaccinations or donated vaccines landed from China. I didn't want to have anything to do with the vaccine.
No, sure, I was exactly with you on that point.
I didn't want to have anything to do with it.
But I changed my mind.
I changed my
You
mind.
are allowed to change your mind. There's no shame in it.
Yeah.
And that's, Kalfi, that is such an important thing that you are mentioning there. That
Yeah.
you are allowed to change your mind in life
Exactly.
about issues that you felt very strongly about.
Yes.
There's nothing wrong with it.
Yeah. I think a lot of us, the young ones, would always put our pride there. Like, but I said this before,
Yes.
so I'm gonna stand for this, even though I know it kind of is wrong.
Now, let me not show them because it's so embarrassing. I wouldn't.
We are embarrassed
In
to
fact,
admit it.
I'll congratulate you
Yeah,
That's
for
what
changing your
yeah,
mind.
for sure. Well done.
Ja,
Mooi
for
gedoen.
changing your mind. Raymond Besson sê station vra of daar drank is by die mense conference, daar gaan ons. Ja, daar's altyd drank. Moenie worry nie. Maar
As
as
die
die
big
bolle
boys.
sê elke dag so 'n koppie koffie, mens. Elke dag so 'n koppie koffie, my suster. Lot sê. Ja. Koffie, gee ons 'n bietjie weather numbers.
All right, just before we do, we delve into the weather. The Informante is reporting that residents residing close to the riverbed in Windhoek's Achterlaan informal settlement, which experienced heavy flooding on Sunday, will be evacuated from the area. Videos of the informal settlement went viral on Sunday with scenes of rising water levels threatening to wash away shacks, as well as a minibus that was caught in the heavy current. When Informante visited the scene on Monday morning, inhabitants of the informal settlement could be seen trying to regain a sense of normal life. Most dwellers were busy drying blankets as others tried to fix electrical cable connections swept away by the water. So you see what kind of effect this has when there are, let's say, a settlement like Achterlaan. You know, you kind of you end up in crisis management, and you try and fix things, and then in the, let's say, wet conditions, people are still trying to do electrical cable connections. I mean, that can be shocking.
Yeah.
Literally.
Yes.
Literally shocking. But never was jy al daar by die brug.
Achterland.
And you will see literally these shacks are built within the riverbed.
Wow.
It's a star. And it's hoekom the river runs down from uphill through the bridge that's there. So it's just inevitable that it was going to happen. And no commons by the municipality like, oh, it was probably people took this illegally, built the shacks there, and what can the municipality do now if they probably illegally built the shacks there?
Also, you know, I'm not too sure, but has the municipality maybe been there before and said to these people, don't build here? It's a flood region. And now that it's flooded, everybody's crying help.
Yeah.
Coffee. You know, if you and once again, you know what? If I drive with my daughter, if we drive home,
Yes.
on a daily basis, or whether it's over the weekend, and my daughter see people walking from mix, and die mense gaan maak hout.
Yes.
People are fetching wood. Now my daughter, growing up so privileged, when she's asking me, Daddy, now why are the people chopping down the trees? So I need to teach little Ayanda survival 101.
Yes. Yes.
Sweetheart, the reason people are chopping off trees is because they need to cook. But why do they need to cook? What do you mean, Daddy? But don't they have electricity at home? Sweetheart, the people don't have electricity. But Daddy, now where are these people staying? Okay, sweetheart, let me show you up there.
Yeah.
This is where the people are staying. But Daddy, those are not houses. Yeah, sweetheart, those are not houses. Now, why are they not? Why do the people not have houses? And
it just goes on.
It just goes on and on.
And now you have to ask our dear government, not the municipality, why are we still, after 32 years of independence, the people have no choice but to build a place for them to stay in a riverbed,
Yes.
knowing that last year, the same time, this river came down. So it comes from a position of, you know what, Kaufi, it's difficult for people.
We're independent, but our situation gets worse.
Yeah. Yeah.
It gets worse and worse as the years come through.
Okay, but looking at the rest of the weather, there's a warning. Widespread thunder showers will persist in the Khomas, Hardap and Otjizondjupa regions, spreading to Kunene and Erongo regions by Wednesday. Please take the necessary precautions.
Yeah.
The interior partly cloudy and warm to hot with isolated thunder showers. Widespread thunder showers in the Khomas, Hardap and Otjizondjupa region. The coast cloudy and cool to warm with showers over the central and southern coast. The wind moderate to fresh southwesterly. Cooler temperatures are persisting throughout the country, with maximum temperatures dropping. In Windhoek, we are expecting maximum temperatures of 29 degrees Celsius. Swakopmund 23, Walvis Bay 28. In the north of the country, Katima Mulilo 31, then going over to Okahau 36, Okongo 31, Omuthia 33, Ondangwa 34, Oshakati 35. Central northern parts, Otjiwarongo 34 with Riobot 29. Our favorite place, Marintel 35, nice and cool.
Nice and cool.
Gobabas takes the cake today with 36 degrees Celsius.
Wat? Hy Tswana stoor daar so.
Daar's hy.
Wil net gou lees. Willem Pretoria says môre. Ethel Koningsdogter also says môre. Kan julle eens nie 'n blommetjie sit by daai plek nie?
Waar by watter plek?
Hier so in die studio. Ons het mos 'n vrou mens hier so.
Sit 'n blommetjie.
Okay.
We should probably do that.
Oriel, anybody in marketing who's watching the show at the moment, bring 'n blommetjie asseblief en
Ja.
sit dit hier in die middel van die tafel asseblief.
No Easter eggs.
No.
Just a blommetjie.
Easter eggs.
Koffie hoor is J.
Nee, was ek.
Yeah. Roviera says, we asking the Swapo party, Neville. Swapo party, not the government, Neville. Is there a difference? Sopiso. Please.
The Swapo party is the government.
Yeah. You know, there are two things that I think is semantics when it comes to conversations here. Muhausi Boli says, a river flows, it does not run, Mitch. That's the one. And Rose saying, ask the Swapo party and not the government. What is the difference? These are just English. And these are just what?
Never. Have you watched this adverts where a lady goes into, it's actually a white lady always. She jumps into the pool and she comes out, and then we say, and then the water runs down her spine. We don't say flows down, right?
Julle wat Engels kan praat.
Asseblief, bro.
Ou lawal. Neville, 1.6 million people are living in poverty. Imagine we are close to 2 million. We are 2.5 million people in Namibia. If you say 1.6 million Namibians are living in poverty, wow. Yeah, Moroccan Owens is just the same in the north. Every year, those people stay in flat plan areas and asking the government for assistance, but is the North Tochmos. Mervyn Minster Alcock. Okay. Hage Lolo, please come explain yourself. Why are there still people without houses? Vosia Lana Greenwood. Vosia, asseblief. Moenie laat ek en jy stry vandag nie, asseblief. Don't get personal here on the show. Ja. Los die toppie uit. Die toppie het jou niks gemaak nie, asseblief. Wacht net gou. Mitchell Mutumba Simata. But even if City of Windhoek tells people not built in that area, they won't listen. The rural to urban migration is the biggest pain. The resources in Windhoek are limited, but daily thousands upon thousands of people move to Windhoek daily. Mutumba, it's true what you say. But you know what? As much as City of Windhoek would tell people not to do it, but I have no option but to do it.
Yeah.
So what am I supposed to do? Willem Hamukwaya sê, is hoekom die ou die presidents gedreig het. Van dinge word nie gedoen soos hulle beloof het nie. Ek gee die Chuck 'n streep. Hy moet kurwantjie.
Dat is Xavier.
Is 'n lelike storie. Vosia sê, Hage is tog my pa. Ek vra my pa. Jy vra jou pa. Maria het altyd, ons het altyd, you know, I don't know if it's the same in the white communities, Calvin. You know, if you want to antagonize someone, let's say I ask you, Calvin, hoekom is julle Duitsers so? Because I deliberately ask you something to antagonize you.
Okay.
Just to get to you. And your response is, gaan vra jou ma. Of gaan vra jou pa. Now that response,
Yes.
I don't know if it's the same in the white communities, but for us,
Yeah.
amongst black people,
Yes.
if I tell you, gaan vra jou pa, of gaan vra jou ma, it's like the ultimate insult. It's
Yes.
like, man, tag,
Zach, yeah.
tag, yeah.
A lang time.
Yeah. Mohausi Boli says, I know we have a problem with ownership, home ownership in Namibia.
Yeah.
But this is one of the reasons why City of Windhoek breaks down shacks in unserviced areas. But you are not ready for this convo. Mohau,
No, we are ready.
yeah, we are ready, and let's have a discussion on
Yeah.
it. Mohau, you know what? If City of Windhoek do break down the shacks, okay, it's one thing to break down the shacks, and I agree that, you know what, we obviously want to see a city that is, when it comes to
That
infrastructure,
looks well developed.
that you have a brick and mortar homes
Yeah.
in the city and all over the country. Maar as die mense nie anders kan nie, where are the is City of Windhoek going to build these people houses immediately as they break down these shacks? Ek vra maar net.
Plus, most of
These
the
people
housing,
need to stay somewhere.
and plus most of the housing projects that we were promised failed, and die tenderpreneurs het die gelde geëet.
The
That's what happens to us
thing
every
is-
time. Come on, we clear land. There's come a housing, mass housing project. It always falls through.
Falls flat, eh?
Eh?
what the low cost housing projects.
The low cost housing projects, most of them,
Healthy.
I don't even know one.
2014, 2013, during the Pohamba era,
Yeah,
when we had the mass housing project,
right.
when Pohamba was standing in Wolfish Bay
In that one house. I
and
remember.
say, when the fire comes,
Where's the back door?
the people will die.
This.
And you, Hailulu,
Hi, Lulu.
you
Oh,
built the
Mahali.
houses with one door. The people will die. This is what we're talking about.
That's incredible. You build a house
Shady
and the
work.
house doesn't have a back door.
Hello? Shady work.
Wow.
Shady work. Because of what? Because of money.
Yes.
Huh?
And we want to empower our black entrepreneurs.
If you drive from Keetmanshoop, as jy van die 12 af ry, on your way to Gruno, okay? En jy kyk so op hy pad, on your left-hand side,
Yeah.
there are probably, and if there's anybody wat nou in die 12 is that can correct me, ek kan onthou laas, jy kyk so links, there are roughly probably anything between 50 to 100 homes completely destroyed. Die huis is nie klaar gemaak nie.
Yeah.
What have not been finished building.
Not finished building. Mass housing. Okay? Contracteurs het die geld gevat en gehardloop.
Nee man.
Klaar.
It has been like that ever since 2013, 2012.
Ja, ja, ja.
It has been like that.
Hoor vir Vosia. Sorry Mitch. Hoor net vir Vosia hierso. Here are so many empty houses in Swakopmund that needs to be given to people. What's up with that?
Yeah.
Houses are being vandalized because there are no people in there. And it's Vosia, that's exactly what is happening daar onder in die 12 in Keetmans. Those houses have been vandalized. Die mense, hier kom trekkie mense in nie. Die kontrakteur het half gebou. Kom ek gaan haal die krane af. Let me remove the pot. Let me remove the shower. Blah blah blah. So gaan dit.
Yes.
It's really and the other thing is also our housing prices in Windhoek itself. You cannot buy a house with a $20,000 salary even now. I don't believe
difficult.
you being. It's difficult.
It's difficult.
Even rent.
It is because our post-independence surge into the property market, where there was a year-on-year 10%
Hallo.
increase in growth. That whole property market in Windhoek and also other towns in Namibia has been totally inflated, and nothing was done about it to regulate it. And we are now seeing the
That's
the
fruits
remnants.
of that.
That's the remnants of it.
And that is it. There are people that have invested money, say 2-3 years ago, into houses that have just not got any return on investment. I remember We about 4 years ago we bought a townhouse in Pioneers Park, and we were very lucky at negotiating with the person that was selling this house, and we managed to barely be able to buy this house at 1.2 million Namibia dollars through a bank with a loan and all that. But the guy that bought a house in the same complex 3 months earlier bought it for 1.6 million, and he thought it was a bargain. His house is now valued at just over $1 million, and he bought it for 1.6.
We bought. I remember we bought our house roughly about 6-7 years ago, and I think my total building cost was probably around 1.5 million. Okay, and I look at growth. I think in the last 6-7 years, our house is, I think in terms of value, is probably worth around 3.5 million now.
Do you
But-
evaluate it every year?
Yeah, if I need to, like every 2 years, I
okay.
evaluate it. I remember that was our last valuation, was about 3.5 million. But if I'm very honest with you, if I have to put our house into the market now, there's no way anybody's going to buy my house for 3.5 million.
Yes.
Nobody.
Yes. That's it. It's all good and well, even with the banks and the evaluators and what saying, oh no, this is 3.5 million, just using that as an example. Is it really going to sell for 3.5 million? Not going to happen.
Not.
Not
I mean,
in a million years.
I evaluated my property in Swakopmund, my holiday home in Swakopmund, and it's. I spoke to my agent in Swakopmund. It's valued at around 2.2 million now. My estate agent told me, Neville, jy gaan niks meer as omtrent 1.3 miljoen kry vir jou plek nie.
Yeah.
There's an oversupply of properties.
Yes. And that's exactly what I'm saying. These property developers, they've now built all these properties, but they can't get them sold because they're not going to get the return on their investment in terms of that property.
Yeah.
So what happens now? Those things are standing empty.
And people are
But you
vandalizing.
cannot go and say, okay, let's just give these to people who don't have homes, because it doesn't work like that. You
Werk nie
can't
so
do that. You can't just say, okay, because something is empty there, you can have it for free.
Nee.
Dat is nie hoe dit werk nie.
You need to get your money.
So you need, and it's the economy is the problem here. Should we not rather be talking about job creation before we start talking about housing?
True. Very
Because
true.
job creation will allow for the affordability
Exactly.
to housing.
It's going to create attraction.
That's exactly it.
Mitchell Mutumba says, send development outwards into the regions. Similar to what Persia, is it, ons het gesê,
What Persia did.
ons het altyd gesê Puget.
Yeah.
Ik had altijd gezegd picture toch.
Puget.
Pugiot.
Yeah, so it's Peugeot. Peugeot did building the assembly plant in the coastal areas. People move cause of lack of opportunities. I myself would have been born in Katima Mulilo had there been enough opportunities for the people to live a prosperous life in the
Yes,
northeast.
sure.
Mervyn Minister Alcock says those houses in the 12 were fixed in 2017 and people moved in 2018.
Okay.
I beg to differ, Mervyn.
Ik
Oh.
ook. Ik agree ook.
Ja.
Ik was laatst jaar. Ik was laatst jaar.
Ik zie
daar.
nog
En
eens
die-
daar op
Ja.
staan. I spoke, I think even last year I spoke to the former mayor, Krona, and she told me that that's nog van huise wat opstaan. DC jaar, Maruru says mass housing. It was just a mess.
Yes.
Yes, Estomish, that guy interview, I didn't know that skunk was until yesterday. Yeah, skunk is skunk. Yeah.
Yeah.
Is there any? Yeah, that's basically the comments that
And
we.
do you know what's happening in Kaditura now? You know, the Kaditura of ours. Businessmen from the north check out people that own the bank or the bank or energy and whatsoever, and they come through and give these people deals that they can't refuse. And these people sell their houses to these businessmen and move to places like achterland.
Yeah,
Okay.
I heard
So,
about that.
Yeah. So now your house gets turned into a shabin. It's a family house that gets turned into a shabin. They come and give this old people deals like $200,000 for the house,
Yeah.
$300,000
Yeah.
for them. Deals they can't refuse at the moment.
I remember, and part of my ancestry, as I say, because I'm partly Herero Damara, and an aunt of mine whose house is in Dolam. And I remember a few years ago, it's probably about 20 years ago, I remember she had a water electricity account
Yeah.
of about, it was roughly around $45,000. So they wanted to repossess the house.
Because of the electricity bill.
Because of the electricity or water bill.
Well, yeah.
So we as a family, we pulled money, together, and we paid off the
Outstanding amount.
the outstanding amount. But like you say, guys came there knowing that sy skuld hy geld, they are willing to buy that house from her, settle
Right.
that account, and you sit here with this gem of a property
Yes.
that you can turn into something
Flats and
very,
what-
very lucrative. What I do, Cleaning Glovo says, do you consider cost sustainability and viability in terms of landed cost, considering that the plant is more of an assembly plant than it is manufacturing, and also targeted markets that influences location in the deal structuring? And that is not only the prerogative of the host country only, but also the interest of Peugeot. Yeah, Peugeot, when Peugeot started this off, I think was it about 5 years ago, or less than 5 years ago? This plant showed so much promise, but I think in terms of production, it's really been slow at this moment. And yes, of course, it was also in the interest of Peugeot, but this is once again, it's a deal that is not coming off like we initially intended for it to be. Dian Shimsizzle says, I would partially blame it on the imbalanced economy. We agree, but then again, whether it's the imbalanced economy, whether it's government who needs to create a conducive environment for us to have employment, and for business people to be creative and to flourish in this environment. Willem Hamukwaya says, what I believe in every region has enough resources, houses, developments and jobs for each person that don't believe me, you people will flock to Windhoek and be selling fruits and veggies and build in rivers. Willem, very true. Ons het 'n baie mooi groot land. And if there are jobs for enough people, as you say, then people don't have to migrate to Windhoek. En dit is...
Ja.
Ek het hier 'n comment gelees hierso van Zelly. She was talking about... And this is one of the things that a lot of guys are telling me in the banking industry. And the banks sit with repossessed houses.
Yeah. Yeah.
Leaving them homeless
Exactly.
and not being able to sell homes in current economic state.
Exactly.
So I hear this a lot.
Neville, do you try and go to one of the commercial banks in Namibia now
Nee.
and try to get a loan for a home? And you see how difficult it is. It's for your normal person out there. And I'm not saying even the poor people. I'm just saying for a normal person. That was what Mitch was saying. Somebody that earns perhaps 15, 20,000 Namibia dollars. He wouldn't be able to go to a bank and say, listen, can you help me with a moral right deal, not the one where you shaft me the whole time, and give me a loan.
Give me a deal.
The bankers are so in on this. It's disgusting.
They are in on what, Kalfi?
In on all of this is where you say, okay, yeah, let me just try and get the most money out of you, and then later on I know you're going to fail in being able to repay your home, and then I'll get it anyway. And so I've shafted you now for this whole time. You understand what I'm trying to... And they're just hiding. The banks are hiding because they're rich. I mean, just have a look in Windhoek. The tallest buildings in this city are those of who? The banks.
The banks.
And after them, the insurers. So that is also so wrong. I'll give you an example. In Dubai, if you are a United Arab citizen, and your medical is for free, your schooling and university is for free, you are guaranteed a job when you leave. And when you leave, and then when you get married, you get a home for free.
Yeah.
For free.
Even Libya used to be like that as well. Libya used to be like that as well.
You have got certain laws you've got to abide by, right? Arab laws. That's their country. We have nothing like this in Namibia. We don't even get a tax break. Neville, we don't even get a tax break. We get nothing.
And those are
And
things
yet-
that can help you set up.
Our politicians are out there stealing the money. Fish rot, for one. It's disgusting on so many levels.
Now, Neville, if you have things like that, if a country provides you with things like that, a home already, a guaranteed job, if a country that sets you up for a good living standard already, and onset ni even that ni, as you come, we will still be 55 years and on. We will still have people living in poverty. We will still have that. We don't have anything that sets us up to have a good living standard.
I went to.
You're very right,
I went to one particular bank the other day. They've moved their head office to Kleine Koppe. A fantastic building, absolutely modernized to the T. You cannot understand. And when you walk into the hall of that new building, and you see the reception area and the unused space where there are not people sitting and working.
I've been there.
They've got fancy flower pots, sofas where you can sit and relax. Yeah, you don't need that building, bank. You need a smaller building. And if you're going to build a bigger building, the only reason why you should build or buy a bigger building is because you need more place for the staff that you are employing.
Yeah.
That
So
is
true,
the right
Kalfi. So true, Kalfi. So true.
If as you guys rightfully say, and you know what, I remember when my sons were 10, 11 years old. I'm talking about the ones who are 23, 24 today. Those two. I remember when they were 10, 11, I told them, and I was serious about it. I told them, listen, you, in this house, by the time you guys are 25, you need to go.
Yes.
You need to be out of this house. Okay? Yeah, but daddy and daddy. I say, hey, you need to be out of this house by the time you're 25. They are 23 and 24 respectively. The eldest one will be turning 25 now, this year. He's at least 2-3 years away from leaving
Right.
the family home.
Yeah.
And what you rightfully say when you talk about the United Arab Emirates, how much of a blessing will it not be? And to all of you guys also watching the show, how much of a blessing would it not be for a parent, for a country, to set up the youth with, I get my first house to the value of $600,000-$700,000 for free, my car, an entry-level Toyota Vitz. As jy hom wil vat jou mas jy nie wil nie, dan los jy hom. A car, a house, and an entry-level insurance.
Yes.
Net a hospital plan. At least that can either take me to Pohamba or to Medicity or to what. let the state hospital be a little luxury place for old people.
Yeah.
Or whatever. But for us,
The youth.
the new entry level ones, give me a package that set me up for life.
Yes.
But we don't have that.
It will be a blessing.
For example, the businesses. I'm just using an example. Let's say the business employs over a certain piece of property in Namibia, make it 30 people.
Yeah.
Should those businesses not should those businesses not buy, let's say, more or less the same size property and put in townhouses to house those employees? The mines used to do that in way back in the
so
70s, the 80s and all that.
Yes,
If you worked at a mine, you got your housing for free and you got a decent house. So let's say there's a bank that builds a new building and has got one big top floor of whatever square meterage, and there are 30 people, 50 people working on that floor. Why don't build housing for those people? They are your employees, for crying in a bucket.
It's a,
Yes.
yeah.
So take that
Kavi,
off
you're on
their,
it, man.
take that off their salaries, or build it into their salaries or whatever, but become an employer that provides housing. Hoe moeilik kan dit nou nou wees?
We will if every employer does that, and for just the people that are employed right now, and every employer works that in and says for every employee they're gonna have a house. It's worked into their salary. We will have a lower housing crisis here in Namibia because there are 40-year-old, 45-year-old people that work at a bank that stays
Yes.
with their parents still.
Correct.
Yeah.
Roviera. Roviera says, that will never happen for as long as Swapper is on the driver's seat. Too greedy and corrupt. Jy kan net gaan. Yeah, we are not interested in your comments here. Jack Rashindwa, ek het nou gelag vir Jack's comment hier. Hoor vir Jack. I have been to that building opposite Grove Mall and sat on a leather sofa I cannot afford. And truly the building was empty except for 3 clients and the workers moving up and down.
Spot on, Jack.
Yes, Kaufi makes a lot of sense. We all know the banks are spearheading the real estate market.
Yep.
Especially the municipality has a huge role in leaning towards the bank's ideology on issuing out more land to property agencies which represent the banks. Kaufi, I got the shock of my life. That was what, oh no, this comment I read now was Franco Jose. Natalie says, Kaufi, I got the shock of my life with Nedbank new building. People got showers and restrooms. Huh?
Okay,
Yeah.
well, that is already
I told you about the cubicles.
that's already a step into the right direction, but only showers and restrooms are not going to sort out the housing problem.
Yeah. Vosia Alana says, where would you get and tax break it if both opposition and ruling parties like eating? Everyone is just there for yourself. True. But again, says Franco Jose, don't you think policymakers and legislative leaders are into the bank's pockets? Oh, yes. Just the same reason where the banks were bemoaning or felt a huge loss of profit when they profit from the fish rod saga.
That's it.
Hello.
That's it.
Hello.
You must remember all the monies that went from fish rod had to go through the banks.
Hello.
And just the interest earnings on
Yeah.
that stolen money. What are the banks? Why are the banks not being held responsible for this?
Very quiet. Eh?
Hey?
Should be.
Crick, 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 crick,
Yeah,
crick,
click, 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 click. And now they're joining the what do you call it? The prosecute, not the prosecutors.
Yeah.
No. Now they slowly but surely. Did you see in the local media how they're saying no? We are now on the prosecution side.
Ons wil so goed hê.
Ja. Because ons wil nie raak gesien word as draadsitters.
Yeah. Mutumba Simata, Uncle Neville, the top-down development is the problem. Every region has its strongest point and we need to amplify these strong points. But is the property sector in Namibia regulated? Not.
No.
He says in the same breath, but the current housing prices, it's difficult to leave the nest, Uncle Neville. Very
It's
true.
hard.
And I see it. Mutumba, I see exactly what you say. We all would love to leave the nest, but the prices and TNCs the banks offer is nightmarish. It is so true. Are there any comments on the other side?
Ja,
Please, man, Mitch, read some of the comments.
Koningsdochters en gehad. And while I'm checking through, okay, Neville, let me check quickly.
Okay, if there are no other
Daar
comments,
is
then,
hij dan. Het is
yeah.
net Ethel Koningsdochters.
Yeah,
en,
but nevertheless, yeah, guys, it's and Mutumba, I do understand, and you know what, I speak to my sons on a daily basis, and you can see the frustration that they have, the
Yes.
fact that they, and kijk, obviously die ma, maar wat het nou hier gebeur? Obviously die ma love the fact that the boys are still living with us.
Yeah,
But
dan
of
kom-
course, I love the fact that my sons are still in the house. But they die mannen slaap meer en meer uit. Okay? Because you know we stay in a Lisenheim and the guys have girlfriends and they want to hang with friends and they feel, you know, we're staying far. So they would leave home after Unam on a Thursday. Daddy, mommy, we are os cheap 8. And then they only come home like only yesterday evening they came home since Thursday. They are my sons. I don't care.
Sure, they've got their own lives.
They have their own lives.
Yes.
Maar die ma like nie dat die kinders nie by die huis is nie.
Yeah.
So again, if they had it their way, they would not be living with us.
Yeah.
They would be living by themselves if they had, like Mutumba says, enough resources to sustain themselves.
Yeah. Ik ga make lees net goeie Neville. Nolan Christian says there is a disconnect between replacement value and market value. Replacement considers building cost, whilst market value is the market is the value the market will pay. Everyone jumped on the bandwagon when the market were high.
No, true. No, true.
Then we have Regine Cathy. There are many people who live in informal settlements that can actually afford a house, but many of them prefer living there because the costs that are lower.
You guys got to remember also something. If you're purchasing a home because you consider that home to be an investment,
Yeah.
or you purchase a home because of a necessity, two different things. Two different things. If you can cover the fact that you've purchased a home due to necessity, but it's also an investment, then you're in the right spot. Okay? So let's say, for example, I buy 2 homes, 2 townhouses. I live in the one. But if I cannot get the other one rented out, it's actually not an asset.
No, it's a liability.
It's a liability.
There's no income being derived from it. Yes, it's worth something. It's got its worth. You understand, but that is exactly it. Well, it's a very fine balance when it comes to housing and investment property. Two different things.
Very, very, very true.
That was one advice that I would give the younger me. Or the guys that were my age. You know those cards, these Sportsons and stuff. Stay away from those stuff.
The what?
The Sportsons,
Uh-huh.
Edgars. You know those little low. What do we call the rekeningen?
Yeah.
Stay away from it. While you are still in your
It's a
20,
trap, eh?
yeah, it's a whole trap. Stay away from it and make sure your credit is always it's clean, and the little that you borrow or whatsoever, pay it back.
Yes.
But make sure your credit is clean until you are at your 30s and what.
We need
you
that
pass your
Edgar,
30s.
don't let Edgar's catch you.
Yeah. So and you're gonna struggle.
Yes.
You're gonna struggle as a young man if you pass your 35 at your 30s, and now you need to make really serious decisions as a man that's trying to build a family, or you are not gonna be able to do a lot that you should
I would
have
just
done
say,
with that age.
borrow as much as you can. Just imagine you die, you've got money left.
Yeah, ne?
Huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, but then
no.
if you're in your 35s and your credit
No,
is clean,
no.
now you can borrow.
Yes.
Borrow it.
Mutumba says, Big Mitch, it's cause of the migrant labor system. Many come from rural Namibia, leaving big house and moving into what? In sink homes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Vosia, us mothers don't like that our kids are not home.
Yes, and that's what one calls a mama's boy.
Oh, it was so weird, ne? On
On
Sunday.
Sundays, ne?
On Sunday. And Kaufi, you and Zeli, you guys are basically staying alone.
Yeah, we've got our own place.
Yeah, no, when I say alone, there are no kids.
No, yeah, that's correct. The kids
It's
are...
net julle twee.
Yes.
Okay.
Most of the time.
Most of the times, unless the older
Yes.
ones come and visit here and there. Sunday was a weird day for me and Mefro.
Right?
Very, very weird. And the house that you do talk about, which is, I remember years ago, and the reason why we bought this house
Okay.
was because we have 4 children.
Uh-huh.
And each one of them needs to have a room of their own.
Yes.
So it's a 5-bedroom home. So our house was both a necessity. I don't see it very much as an investment because I really, out of my mind, I keep that house out of my property portfolio in my mind. I don't want to know about it because it's where we stay.
Yes.
Any other assets that I have, I sort of,
Keep in your balance sheet.
keep in my balance sheet. But nevertheless, Sunday was one of the first days that it was just the two of us home alone. It's weird.
I know.
It's weird being with Mefrou as net ons by die huis.
Yeah.
So now as ek in die braai area, then she's in the kitchen.
Yes.
Then I'm in the kitchen, then she's in the TV room. Then I'm in the TV room, then she's upstairs. Maar, you know what? We've been together for such a long time. Ja, wat moet ek nog met jou praat?
Ons het mos alles klaar
Ons het
gepraat.
mos alles klaar gepraat.
In die eerste termyn.
Ja. En die kinders,
Oh my God, man.
the kids are not there, okay? Because you know what? They have always been creating the ambience in the home. Guys, there's another topic that I quickly want to discuss with you. Yeah, I know there are some of you guys who are asking whether we should bring the skunk guy on our show,
With the Dacha people.
the Dacha guy, okay?
The one that threatened the president.
The who threatened the president.
What Dacha
That
guy
the
was that?
savior.
Are these guys that got caught in Omaruru or what?
Nee.
No, this is this dude that threatened the president.
Okay, sorry, I'm not with you guys.
And he was interviewed by one of the local dailies as well, I think the other day. And
the sun.
he was asked, so what did you smoke today? He was like...
Okay.
So that's where the skunk story is coming
Yeah.
from.
And he made a threat?
Yeah, he made,
He made
a
a
threat
threat to death threats to the president.
to the 3 presidents.
Yo. Has he apologized?
Yeah. I need to read up a little bit more about.
We'll do
what-
some research.
Yeah, we'll do a little bit of. I saw the story in one of the dailies yesterday, but we didn't get time to really touch on that. I know Marsha, she wanted us to touch on that yesterday, guys. Last night, I saw a disturbing video of a pit bull getting hold of 2 dogs. I'm not too sure in which town or suburb this is. It could be in Windhoek. I'm not too sure. And this pit bull basically, I'm telling you, got hold of these 2 dogs. The people managed to free this one dog from this pit bull.
Okay,
But then he got hold of the younger dog.
right.
He completely devoured this dog in terms of how he destroyed this dog.
Wow.
They were hitting this pit bull. They tried to drive over this pit bull. They threw it with hot water. This pit bull just didn't want to let go. And then obviously, then the debate started on our group last night about the dangers of pit bulls.
Yes.
Nou, soos ek hier so sit, I don't trust wild animals. I don't trust a lion in captivity. I don't trust a leopard. I don't trust a baboon. I don't trust a trained chimpanzee. I don't trust. A wild animal for me is a wild animal for me.
Yes.
I know when it comes to dogs all have different temperaments, and many dogs have the capability of hurting people. My question to you guys and to the public out there: why is the pit bull the only dog that people need to vouch for? Nobody will say, come on, don't talk like that about a German Shepherd.
Yes.
Don't talk like that
About my
poodle.
yes.
Don't talk like that about my
Rottweilers, Dobermans.
Not even that.
Yes.
Don't talk like that about my
The
Doberman.
pavement specials.
Boerbulls.
Don't talk like that about my Boerbul. But everybody who are a pit bull favorite or you're a voorstander van pit bulls would always say a pit bull is misunderstood.
Yes. They are really not like that. It's not their fault that they did this. They've been bred to be like this. I know that you get friendly pit bulls and they say, oh, that with my children they are just so nice, and the pit bulls are just these wonderful creatures. But why is it always that pit bulls are involved in these horrific incidents?
Why?
Yeah.
Pit bull is actually a mixture of I think, what was it, Rottweiler and what?
No,
A pit bull? No.
Yeah.
No, they've been bred like that.
No,
They've been bred to fight.
Yes, it's fight dog.
It's
It's
a
a fighter
fight-
dog. They've been
Oh,
bred
get
specially
me.
to fight.
Yes.
And
Pit. It means
you put them in a pit
you put them in a pit
and they fight.
and they fight to death.
Yes.
That is where the name
to-
pit
for the
comes from.
entertainment of the human being, so that he can bet on which
Yes.
dog will win.
Yes. So you took the most aggressive DNAs, chromosomes.
Put them together.
You put them together to create this
Machine.
fighting machine.
Yeah.
Okay? So, hey, I'm telling you the comments there on our, and I need to read some of the comments from our
Community.
community group. People say, ask, wait. All dogs can be aggressive. This is what one of my people on the on our group said. If not trained properly, pit bulls are good watchdogs and protective towards their owners, just like German shepherds and Rottweilers. Did you know that Labradors, the wonder pet, is more likely to bite a child than a pit bull? Never knew this until a vet told me. Difference is once a pit bull bites, they don't let go. I agree 100%. This is what somebody else on the group said. And then somebody gave us a scenario here about his pit bull. When Diablo, it's now his pit bull, was a puppy, we went to pick up my son one day, and he was with. We were waiting in the car, and the security guard came over and played with him until he asked what dog it is. When I told him that it was a pit bull, he jumped back and was scared. I think the media has a lot to do with their so-called bad rep. I will never get another dog besides a pit bull again. They are so good with kids, and Diablo is my best.
What does
friend.
Diablo stand for? It means devil in Mexican. Diablo means devil.
Pablo Diablo.
But Chihuahuas are so innocent.
Yes.
This is what Estomich says. My friend has a pit bull, but dogs here are tamed and are house pets.
Pit bulls use chihuahuas as toilet paper.
Coffee.
Oh,
Segment. If a dog,
I think it happens everywhere else to me.
if a dog bites here, they are put to rest. No questions asked. But Estomich, must I first lose my son, my 2-year-old son, before you put the pitbull to rest. Ethel Koningsdogter says, Mitch, het jy vir Neville gesê hoe jealous en lelik topfans met jou is? Het die mense beef met jou?
Hulle beef my come ek ken nie wat wat.
Okay.
Can I just add on something, Neville, then, eh?
Kan ek net gou net van die comments lees hierso. Vosia Alana Greenwood says, my Jack Russell is tog te stout. Hy blaf kamma vir mense. Man, waar is die comment tog nou? Moenie hou net vas. Hy blaf kamma vir mense sodat ek hom treats kan gee. Vosia, you know what? And that's me, unfortunately. I'm very biased when it comes to Jack Russells because that's the dog that I love the most. How did you guys get to pit bald? Lost die hond uit. The fighting machine must be handled like a woman. Just feed them and they won't be aggressive. That is now Franco Jose. So Franco Jose, so you feel it's got nothing to do with the DNA of the dog. They are lovely dogs. Vosia Alana says there are underground dog fights in Namibia.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know
What?
that.
Yeah.
We need to expose these people.
People,
Bring us the info.
people are teaching their dogs to fight. Mutumba says, I love pit bulls. I feel the owner has to be held accountable when you own a dangerous dog. Doesn't matter what breed, you should make sure the dog is in a secure environment. It's unfortunate that the dog had to be shot dead because of the owner's negligence. But
Do these people know dogs are wild animals?
I agree with his comment to a certain extent. Yes, the owner needs to be held responsible by all means. But here comes the story. Look, by all means, this video that you saw was between dogs.
was between
What would
luckily
have
between
happened
dogs.
if that would have been the pit bull and maybe one or two smaller children?
Hello.
Let's not go far, eh?
Then
I'll give
the whole excuse of the owner needs to be held responsible, that doesn't work out for me because then it's too late. If he's then held responsible, what you're going to do? Drag him to court, he's going to pay a fine, he goes to jail for 6 months or whatever the case. The child has been either killed or totally mauled or
Weg. Klaar.
That life
It's
of
not
that
good
human
enough.
being has been destroyed. So that whole thing about the owner needs to be held responsible, that doesn't gel for me then.
Let's not go far. I think 8 years back in Ochumise,
I remember.
and people, there was a video of that. And Kaufi, I don't even think you want to see that
No,
video.
please don't.
Never knows, and you don't want to see that a boy was molded to death by a
Yes.
pit bull. And these people,
Hello. Two pit bulls.
two pit bulls, these people were using pepper spray. These people were using baseball bats, warm water. It did not work on that pit bull. It's done. It was done. The police came there. The kid died. And they shot the dogs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
hulle los nie as hulle
Never-
begin vang nie.
I can understand if somebody gets a dog that is a little more. Look, if you've got a Chihuahua, you know, your Chihuahua is not going to fend off 10 burglars. But if you're going to get a dog to protect your home, you understand? Maybe a Rottweiler or Doberman. I can understand that because you're keeping your home in the place where you live. You're keeping your property, for that
Yeah.
matter. It keeps it safe.
Yeah.
However, then if, let's say, other people come onto the property, those dogs need to be locked away.
Yeah.
As in Susan wegsluit.
Yeah. Sluit hulle weg.
You know?
How about this, Kaufi? If you put him in the cage during the day and then you leave him out like at night.
Yeah, I know
whatever
that's what a lot of people do.
Yeah, a lot of people there. Probably that would work if you have a pit bull.
No, by all means, but then also think about it from the animal's point of view. So you've got an animal now that you lock away for what?
the whole day.
12 hours on
yeah.
end. Is that really why you want the dog?
He's gonna just become more aggressive. And
Gee die hond skank. All will be fine. That is Franco Jose. Jou moer man. Asino Kambikiti Rasta says, Coffee, Tibetan Mastiff, use a pit bull as toilet paper. Wow.
Maar so, op.
Wait. No, I would love to see the Tibetan Mastiff.
Yes, I tell you, the Tibetan Mastiff is
Is it the massive dog?
not your average dog.
Is it?
Yeah.
Yeah, pitbull meets
It's a pit bull. Mos.
toch so mooi pitbull. Mutumba should be invited on the show. This is what Franco Jose says. Raymond Passon sê, my hond is so sag. Ek en hy het nou die dag saam weggehardloop vir 'n ander hond. So jy en jou hond hardloop weg vir 'n ander hond. Hey. Roviera says, Coffee, that has happened before. A child died in the jaws of a pit bull. Yes.
Wow.
Kaloy Buchter says, I'm sorry, I have a normal dog, but he bites no one. Come in my place without. What is a normal dog?
Pavement special.
Yeah, what is a normal dog? Mutumba says, but in the United States, they are trying to change the image. Pit bulls are joining the police service. What? Pit bulls are joining the police service. So it's just the image. Unfortunately, the breed has a terrible image of being a fighting dog. Mutumba,
But it's
what
true.
what do you mean a terrible image of being a fighting dog?
They
It
are
is
fighting
a
dogs.
fighting dog.
It's not a terrible image. It's what it is. It's like
They're
Mike
good at it.
Tyson is a boxer. Mike Tyson doesn't have a terrible image for being a boxer.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, you get boxer dogs.
Neville,
as well.
me personally, Neville, I don't trust any dog from Kadutura. You can take me to any house. You can even tell me how well trained that dog is. As long as that dog is from Kadutura, I'm not going in without the owner.
No, I'm actually I differ with you there.
Kadutura dogs.
I'll tell you why.
I don't. Yeah.
Why? I've always, and it was part of a comedy routine that it's one of my. I've always done, in the past when I started out doing comedy, it was part of my comedy routine, and I always say, you know what, Karatura dogs. The only thing Karatura dogs does, hulle bluff net. They good at barking. As you come into the yard,
There are two things that I don't trust.
I am.
Kom vat. Kom vat alles. Ja, vat. I'm scared of Koufie's dog in Kleine Cooper. Boere en Duitsers se honde bluff nie. Those dogs are quiet. Leë blikke maak die meeste geras.
You know what I don't? There are two things I don't trust. Dogs from Kleine Cooper
Daar sê.
and Wambus from Katatura picking up rocks.
Ja!
Jy is skit man.
Jong, daai Wambus kan klippe gooi.
Dis aan by jou gooi
Het sê
op die nommer.
tussen die oë.
Tussen die oor.
Dis so op die poepspier.
Normal dog is one that does not really have a breed. Okay, so there is a pavement special.
It's a pavement special, yeah.
I've got a valid question to ask.
Uh-huh.
Does the SPCA, look, SPCA takes most stray dogs in
Yeah.
and all that kind. Does the SPCA accept pit bulls?
We need to ask them. Can we make this?
Because that would
Can
be
we make this priority
yes,
to ask
the SPCA.
the SPCA?
If they
Because good question that you're asking, Coffee. Because Mutumba, there's this documentary that I watched last night because of what has happened yesterday, and they say in Canada there's a specific dog shelter
yeah.
in Canada. These people, they made sure that, you know what, they were interviewed undercover at this dog shelter because they didn't want anybody to know who they are, this dog shelter. They say when pit bulls come in, they give the pit bull a new name. They don't even take the old name of the pit bull.
Mm-hmm.
They want to trace the history of pit bulls as far as possible. They want to eliminate the history of this pit bull because they are making a business out of it.
Okay.
Now, the behavior of these pit bulls over a course period of time, daar buite iemand hierso, Hy word nie uitgesit nie. Then he's taken to the SPCA.
Sure.
This SPCA takes this dog and gives it to that family at $10,000 or $5,000. Something happens there, or the
take them
people are
again?
not okay with the behavior of that dog. They move the dog to another family. Okay? Why do you need to erase the history of a pit bull? Because you know
What they're capable.
what they're capable of. Raymond Basson sê, die Tura dogs blaf eers bietjie, dan loop hulle saam met die rowers in die huis rond. So, Mitch, shut up.
No! I don't trust them!
Wag. Loop saam met die rowers in die huis rond tot hulle klaar gesteel het en loop nog saam tot by die hek. Coffee, don't ask SPCA is like the current GRN. They are enemy of progress. Imagine SPCA came to my house and decided that I am not allowed to breed huskies for money purposes. That's Franco Jose.
Okay.
Mohausi Bolly says the SPCC, die Engels raak op. The SPCA representative can come in as a guest. Mohau, that's a good tip
Yeah,
that you're
ne?
giving us. Franco Jose. Katatura dogs have enough problems.
I lost die honde, man. Och!
They
Los
don't,
onze honde.
they don't have time to bite people. Hulle stress klaar oor die klein korrels wat hulle kry from their owners. Roviera says, guys, tell us, we are talking about dogs here, not grizzly bears. That Tibetan is a beast. Yeah. It's information to people who doesn't know such information, bro. Chill. That's now Asino's response.
Hulle wat al die stry.
Yeah. Mervyn, Minister, Alcock. It's only me, or did any of you guys seen a dog who bite a Zimbabwean who is...
Okay, now that I'm thinking about it, yeah. Never have you ever seen a dog
Selling mops.
biting a Zimbabwean?
Who's selling mops and brooms?
Hy's al hoor die hond.
I think every mop and broom seller should be bitten by a dog.
You will see. You will see, my brother. Devil, okay, I have a question. Coffee, how much do you think would it cost the average pit bull owner to take care of a pit bull per month? Like, how much do you think? Like,
Well, I guess you've got to feed the dog and, give him, a comfortable environment. But I guess, what does a pit bull eat? Make it $1,000 a month?
They
$1,500?
eat chihuahuas.
Oh, they for free. Those are snacks.
and I've seen my brother has one, and they have this injection that they have to get, and that thing is expensive.
Yeah, well, they still put them on steroids and stuff like that.
yeah.
Dis hoekom hulle so mal raak.
As die ding. Like to us, if a dog is sick for 2 weeks, we send them to the north. It's dead. It's done with him.
I'm so glad that they're not crossing the pit bulls with giraffes. Because then they'd be biting the people on the other side of the fence.
Oh,
Yes.
a violent giraffe. Imagine a violent giraffe.
Franco Jose says, anyone streaming from the north, die wambos voel lekker when they listen to the varieties of dogs. You guys are talking
Bon
about,
appetit!
it's like reading the KFC menu.
Those
Ek het
dogs.
nie geweet van daai ene hy gepraat nou. Wat is daai ene se naam? Wat is daai groot hond se naam wat nog gesê is?
Nee, man.
Julle, nee. Ek is klaar met
Daai
julle.
ene is vet, man.
Franco Jose, you are not needed on the show. Maintaining... What a vertank any what I capital. Maintaining a pit bull is same as maintaining an AMA 2000. J Sal home full. I'm
Yeah, I
a
think it's
2000
expensive, man.
is these young chicks.
Is that what we call them?
Yeah.
I'm a 2000.
I'm a 2000 because they were born from the year 2000
Okay.
and up.
Right, so
Yeah.
they're like
Yes.
22 now.
Yes,
They're
and that's-
expensive.
they're expensive. Mutumba says, Uncle Neville, check the Kangal Shepherd dog. Males are 70 to 80 centimeters. 40 to 60 kilograms. Yeah. Esther
daai
Mitch.
is die groot een.
Esther Mitch, your comment is the last comment for the show.
Och,
All she says is this show. Guys, thank you very much for joining us today once again.
I'm done with this.
Hier.
Ek is
Dankie,
klaar met
dankie.
hulle.
Ek het my nou klaar gelag vandag. Julle kan 'n klomp kak praat. Blessings for the day, guys.
Have
See
a
you
good one.
guys tomorrow.
Cheers.